What is up, guys? Let's talk about the LG Velvet. So I thought I would do this one for 2021 since it got a pretty nice price drop. You can now find this well under 400 bucks, around 380, probably even cheaper on eBay as well, in the refurbished or used marketplace. And I really like this phone. It's still very solid and it still does a lot of the basics, and with that dual screen case, you can make this a multitasking beast if you want to add that onto it. But the phone itself is still a really nice looking phone as well. You can see this mirror finish. Not my favorite color. I'm not sure if I really love the whole reflective thing, because it does pick up a lot of fingerprints. But it's a very pretty phone when you wipe it off and everything. You have your descending teardrop camera setup here, which is very unique. It gives it its own little look and feel to it, and it's a very thin phone as well. Not super uncomfortable to hold, but very thin. It reminds me of kind of like the OnePlus 7 Pro, and you can see the screen is curved as well, which we will get into that. But yeah, the phone feels fine in the hand. It's a glass and metal phone, and it's IP68 dust and water resistant. So overall, I really like the design of this phone. It's a very unique looking phone. So you do have stereo speakers on this guy, which we will get into. A headphone jack with USB Type-C. Now this phone does not have the quad DAC, which was one of the downsides of this phone. I felt like LG could have probably just thrown that quad DAC in there, but maybe they were trying to give people a reason to get the V60 if they wanted like a newer LG phone. So I'm thinking that's, what that was. But our volume rockers are over here, as well as our Google Assistant button is still on here as well. Now the front of the Velvet has a beautiful POLED display. It's a 6.8 inch display, so it's a very big phone. You have the water drop notch here, which you can hide, and like I said, it's curved screen, so kind of minimal bezel on this phone. Get a little bit of bezel, but not by much, and it is a very color accurate display. That is one of the things I noticed too. It's a very nice display. It gets fairly bright, and it's only a 1080p display, 395 for the PPI, but it looks really good. And like I said, it's very color accurate. Blacks are very deep, colors are very vibrant. No issues at all with this display here. And I know some people want to know about accidental touches since the screen is curved, and I've never had a real issue with accidental touches on this phone. I don't use a case with this one at all, so I didn't have a problem with that. So for the screen, everything is just super solid, very beautiful. It's just really nice screen. And like I said, you can't hide that notch in the software if you are just like anti-notch or whatever. Now the Velvet is running the Android 10 with the LG UX 9 skin on top of it. I haven't had any problems with like stuttering and stuff like that. The skin is fine. When you get it though, well, at least on my AT&T version, it does come with bloatware, which I never deleted because I always want to show you guys. It's like a booking.com, and then like it's not a whole bunch. Then you have this one right here, but most of it is just your standard Google applications. LG does not throw in a ton of their own applications and stuff like that. You have a few here, but they usually leave the phones alone when it comes to bloatware. They're not as bad as like Samsung with throwing in a ton of their own applications and stuff like that. You have your Google Now page over here, which I absolutely love. You have all that information here, and this phone actually supports pen support as well, so if you want to use a stylus with this phone, you can do that as well. And also, like I said, no quad DAC, but we do have a lot of your essentials in here. We do have the 3D sound engine, which is really good on here too, to make that music feel fuller, I guess. And you also have your screen recording on here built in, and you also have your screen sharing on this phone as well. So if I wanted to put this on a TV, show everybody pictures or whatever, I can do that as well. So the Velvet is running the Snapdragon 765G and the Adreno 620, and it's a pretty fast phone. Also, if you want to just use this phone as a gaming phone, this is also a pretty good gaming phone. It's not going to be the powerhouse of the V60 with the Snapdragon 865, but it is definitely not a weak phone. This is a pretty good processor for the price that you are paying. You also get 6 gigs of RAM out of the box and 128 gigs of storage, which is really nice. In addition to that storage, you do get micro SD card support, which is awesome, so you can expand that storage. So overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the specs on here for the price point. Like I said, it's a 5G phone as well, and you can do gaming on here fine. Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, whatever you want to play, you can do that on this phone. Now the Velvet has some really nice speakers on here, stereo speakers. I'll go ahead and let you guys hear them. They sound awesome. Let me go ahead and max that volume. This phone is just super loud, just awesome sounding speaker quality on here. Mids and highs, bass presence is all there, and yeah, they sound excellent. So if you like to play music out loud on your phone, or you watch a lot of movies, music videos, whatever, these speakers are really nice because it's easy to block this speaker right here. So always having stereo speakers is always a plus in any smartphone. I have face unlock on this phone, which sucks. But if I go ahead and tap that in, also this you're always on display, which you can set any picture, something that I really love. But the fingerprint scanner is fine. It's pretty much on par with the V60 fingerprint scanner, which works fine. It's not the fastest, in-display fingerprint scanner that I've used, but it works. So I don't have any issues with it. It's definitely not the fastest. I think once 90 Hertz comes to LG phones, I think it'll feel much faster, like those Samsung and OnePlus phones. But it's fine, it works. I never had like any real issues with the in-display fingerprint sensor. This phone also has NFCs for your mobile payment, and Bluetooth 5.1 of course is on deck. Somebody asked me about the FM radio as well, and you do have FM radio on here if that's something that you really have to have on your phone. So let's go ahead and dive into the cameras. So you have a triple camera setup on the Velvet, and it is a 48 megapixel standard, an 8 megapixel ultra wide, a 5 megapixel depth, and you get 4K video at 30 FPS, and a 16 megapixel selfie camera. So we haven't seen any major updates to the camera software since I've got it, which I think this phone does need a software update to fix some of the issues I found with just detail sometimes when I compare it to the V60 or even like the G8. When I'm trying to get macro shots, it's kind of a struggle unless you do manual mode. But overall, stills are fine on this phone. You get good detail with this phone. White balance is pretty much on par. The ultra wide lens on here is fine as well. Color seems to be really natural. It's not super oversaturated, which is something that I like too. So you get really good camera with the Velvet. Like I said, it might need like a little software update, but overall I really like the depth of field and detail. Dynamic range is pretty good on this phone too. Some people complain images are a little bit soft, but like I said, sometimes I think it's the software, because I would take a shot and then I would have to sort of retake it. If I retake that same shot in a manual mode, then I get a way better shot. But I guess that still stands. So I see what they're saying. But the selfie camera is fine as well. You get a lot of detail, pretty good natural colors as well with that too. So overall, I really like the Velvet's cameras, and I'll go ahead and let you hear the mic quality in the video indoors and out. Alright guys, here's the video for the Velvet. As you can hear my voice, let me know how the mic sound. You also have different you also have different microphone settings on this camera as well. So you have the bokeh, the ASRM mode on here, which is really nice. A lot of smartphones don't have that, but as you can see, let me know how it looks. Okay, so battery life is pretty good on the Velvet. Again, I don't have 5G in my area, so I can't speak for people with 5G, but this has a 4,300 milliamp battery, 25 watt fast charging. You also have wireless charging on this phone as well, and battery life is pretty good on here. I can easily get around 8 hours and 30 minutes of screen on time on mine. And like I said, if you're using the dual screen case or on 5G, your battery life will probably be decreased from that. So let me know, anybody with the Velvet, are you on 5G? What type of screen on time are you getting? But yeah, overall battery life is pretty good on this phone. I can get through a whole day easy without any issues. So again, this is a really awesome phone right now for the price point, especially in the used market. I think it brings a lot to the table in terms of being a true multitasking beast with that dual screen case. Also, the phone by itself is just really solid. You have a beautiful screen. You have a pretty good software on here, in my opinion. It's not terrible. I actually like the LG UI skin. And you have pretty good cameras on here, which I think need a little bit software update, but excellent stereo speakers. So it's a powerful phone. You can play games on here fine too. I really like the Velvet. So what do you guys think? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.